All right, Cougs had their most made free throws since beating Ryder with 39 made free throws in 2018. Obviously, Lawan Watts had a career-high 24 points, and Dane Erikstrup had a D1 career-high 9 rebounds. Coach, we'll give an opening statement, and then we'll open it up to questions.
Yeah, I thought it was a great college basketball game that we were gearing up for all week. And our guys did a great job for 40 minutes of being mentally tough. We survived a heck of a run from Malik Thomas. You know, that first half is one of the best first halves I've seen. But our guys didn't get frustrated. They didn't overreact. We adjusted the game plan at halftime, and I thought we did a really good job. And you know, over the course of the game, I think our advantages showed more than theirs. Like, there was times where their guard play was really good, and they were cutting us up and driving us. But for the most part, especially that second half, I thought our size inside, we did a better job exploiting that than they did with the guards. And so just mental toughness, and just proud of these guys for learning how to finish games a little bit better.
As you mentioned, first half, Thomas is 27. Second half, just 7. You guys foul him out. It felt like that you kind of used Tomas a little bit more on him, maybe with a little more Lawan in the first half. Was that kind of what you were trying to do, is just get him in some of those matchups, kind of be physical with him?
I mean, when you look at that first half, Lawan in the half court was spending more time on him. I think he got a ton of points in transition. Like, we messed up some matchups. He got some open threes. He got a bunch of looks in transition. And so really the emphasis was trying to put 2 on the ball when he came off ball screens, and then trying to make sure we were rotating the right way. We just kind of talked about our rotations, and our guys figured that out a little bit better. And Thomas had some good stands, and multiple other guys. I thought Dane and Ethan did a good job when we were switching, keeping them in front and sending them the right way. So it was a team effort.
I do want to ask about one specific Tomas sequence. It's the he has just the absolutely monster block, and then you get the fourth foul on Thomas on the other end, turns into technical free throws. Just how much have you kind of seen him grow from, again, a point where first 2 games he was just maybe getting in a minute or 2, to now he's one of the more vital players, especially on the defensive end?
He's just a mature kid, and he's played at a high level. He knows who he is. And I think that's kind of shined through these first, I don't know how many games he started now. What is it, 4 games or something like that he started. That steadiness has shown through, and that's just his character. And he's starting to show more what he can do. I mean, we're talking with our assistants, and we're talking about how other teams are labeling him as a shooter, which he is, but we see him almost more as a playmaker driver. He's one of the most physical drivers we have, and so I just think his game's going to keep blossoming. Like, we've just kind of scratched the surface with him.
That 23-1 run obviously was kind of the turning point in the game. How much do you guys feel like you fed off the energy from the crowd? I mean, a pretty good crowd, and then it certainly got noisy in there even without the students back.
It was really fun, and I think it played a huge part. We had a couple buckets and a couple stops in a row. The crowd started getting excited, and at that point they called a timeout, I think, and I'm sitting there with our assistants, and George looks at me and says, "Hey, just make sure you get a second and appreciate this, because this is cool." And so we both looked around. The whole crowd is going crazy, and it was a great moment. You know, we locked in. We told the guys what we needed to do, but it was a great thing to be a part of. I'm really grateful for that. And the other piece is I think it put USF on their heels. They were missing some free throws. They were looking a little bit shaky at times because of the crowd and the noise. And I just think that energy is something that we need to continue to build.
We asked Ethan about that 23-1 run, and a lot of what he said had to do with you guys' defense. What kind of role did that play in that run, do you think?
It's huge. I think there was definitely a few buckets that we had in that run that were started by our defense. We got some leak outs. We got a couple open threes in transition, a couple long closeouts that we could drive. And so I think when we're getting stops, it doesn't allow the teams to get their matchups. And if we get mismatches right off the bat, it's pretty tough to guard us. And so we just need to keep preaching that. We've had some really good defensive games. That last one versus LMU was incredible. This one, pretty bad first half. Sometimes you're going to face really good players, really good coaches. They had a great game plan that first half. They picked us apart. Holding that team to 33 points or something like that in the second half is really hard to do, and I thought our guys did a good job.
13 turnovers in this one. You knew they were going to pressure the ball and be physical. Obviously, you'd rather 13 be 0, but is 13 okay considering kind of what their ball pressure and their physicality?
It's progress. It's progress. I think back when I was playing and early in my coaching career when I was an assistant, our goal was 10. That might not be a realistic goal for this team. Maybe we might have to stick with 12. But I think that we're starting to understand where the simple passes are, how to handle pressure a little bit better. It just seems like every game we've got one or two guys that have a high turnover number, and we got to limit that situation because I think some of that's mental toughness, right? The turnovers kind of snowball, and we just can't let one thing lead to another.
There seemed to be some sort of like disagreement between you and the USF coach during like the handshake line at the end of the game. What was what was that all about?
I think they're frustrated about Dane shooting the three. The last two games, we didn't do the right way. We shouldn't have scored. This one, there was a differential, so I'm not too sure what we should have done there. But maybe I'm off. I'm not really sure.
Luan has a big game with the double-double, 24 points to 12 rebounds. But the one thing I noticed from him is his poise when it did, when the fans were up and about it and there was, some emotions on the floor. It seemed like he had some poise out there. I don't know if that's something that you saw or something that you noticed too, but just talk about Luan and his big game tonight.
It's just cool to hear that. Like, the kid's been working his tail off. He's always been a talented player. He's had big games last year. He's had big games this year. And the big thing we're working on with him is just showing that poise and showing his true character throughout the game. And just it's really cool to hear that because that's what he did. And when he does that, he's a heck of a player. And I mean, dang, look at his stat line: 24 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, just 1 turnover. Those are some winning numbers.
Coach, you told us after the LMU game about how you got to come out with these games and prove it, and the other team has to come in and prove it too. How'd you see your guys prove it tonight?
I thought we just answered the bell as far as being able to make adjustments and come out that second half with the aggression we needed. We came out the first half with some aggression too. I think it was 11-0. And that's going to be our mindset. Like, it's been all year that we've kind of been second-guessed. I think our team is really good at dealing with adversity because these guys, for the most part, have had to overcome a lot of obstacles to get to this point. Like, we got a couple guys that played D2, D3. We got guys that started in the Big Sky, and Nate was at Lamar, or Indy didn't play last year, and you can go down the list, and every one of these guys got a chip on their shoulder for some reason, and so they're comfortable dealing with doubters. They're comfortable dealing with that, and if we have that prove-it mindset, I think that's what carries us, and we're just going to keep going with that.
And the guys were agreeing with that earlier. They were telling us how they sort of accepted that underdog mentality. So now you go to play Team Pacific that would certainly be the underdogs, at least with the numbers in the next game. So in a game where you would be the favorites, how do you take that and continue it against a team that also wants an upset?
That's a new thing for us right now. We just got to come in and be us. I don't think we've necessarily been in this position in conference play where we're going to be a favorite, and so it'll be new to us, but we're going to come in with that edge. We're going to come in and practice, and I think that's where it all starts. That's where we build our edge. We had a heck of a practice on Tuesday. I mean, we were competing. Guys were getting after it. I mean, I got guys not wanting to go to weights because they're pissed off at their teammates because they're all happy because they won the day. And it's like, come on, we got to move on. But it's also like, I love it. Like, I love that it matters that much that we're winning these games in practice. I love that they care this much. And that's what's allowed us to develop. That's what allowed these guys to get better. And that's what allows these guys that didn't play that much. You look at Thomas and Parker and Case. They didn't play that much early in the season, but they have confidence coming in because of the way we practice and we get after it every day.
Questions for Coach? One up front with Greg.
Parker Gary is not going to fill up the box score for you guys very often, but with Nate out as much as he was tonight, I'm curious just about the role he has just as like a ball handler or someone that could put it on the floor. What kind of role does he have when Nate's out, for kind of long stretches like that?
Well, that's something I've just been really excited to see. These last few weeks is Parker's poise or just his ability to play with confidence the last few weeks, and he's made a huge impact defensively for us the last few games. Just getting steals, getting guys uncomfortable with his ball pressure, doing all the little things, and that's where he's found his niche. He's a freshman that obviously was here last year when he redshirted, but this is his first time playing college basketball, and you can tell him starting to get more comfortable. You can see where he's finding his niche, and like that's what you need to do as a freshman. You need to find how you can help the team, how you can build confidence in the coaching staff, and he's done that with his defense, and now the other stuff will start to show. I mean, it's hard to come out there and do everything your first time out there, and he's in the gym every single day before practice, getting extra shots up. He shoots the crap out of it. He was like 3 for 3 2 days ago from 3 and hitting tough shots. Like, you're going to see him do more stuff in the box score over the next few weeks, but like, he found his niche. He's helped our team a ton, and just really cool to see a player like that take that step.
Time for a Big Mac?
I don't know. My wife might be having some dinner tonight. We got the early game. It's not last time you asked me that, it was like 11 p.m. So
That's fair.
Go Cougs.